Welcome to Free Food with Dr. Meg. Today on Free Food, we have a request from Kaylee in Marina Del Rey, California, who writes in to say, I love chocolate chip cookies, but they have to be gluten, dairy, and soy free. But most of these recipes and products use potato starch, tapioca starch, or corn starch. I find these starchy flours are very difficult to digest and cause abdominal pain. Do you have a whole grain recipe that's gluten-free, dairy-free, soy-free, and starch-free that also tastes great? The first thing that we're gonna do is with our KitchenAid mixer, and if you don't have a mixer, don't worry about it. You can just hand mix this thing. I did it for years before I had a KitchenAid mixer. So we have a cup of butter. Now what I've used is a soy-free Earth Balance. It's also vegan, so there's no casein, which is a protein that's found in dairy products that a lot of people have food allergies to. So, all right, so we got that going in there, and then we go for our sugars. We have a half a cup of Turbinado sugar. I use Turbinado sugar because it has some nutritional value as far as sugars go. I have 1 cup of packed brown sugar that we're gonna put in. So this is a very traditional cookie recipe. It's really, really great. Okay, so we got the sugars in there, and we're gonna turn on, and just watch those as it creams together. I'm gonna turn it up to number 2 here. And just watch it cream. The butter is very, very important in your cookie recipe. If it's too runny or too melted, your cookie can come out really like spread out and really, really super crunchy. If you like it that way, then do it that way. I like mine to be a little more cakey. So I want my butter to be pretty cold. Don't want it to be runny at all. There we go. Now the next thing that we're gonna do is these are well-beaten eggs. I'm well beating them one more time. And we're just gonna go ahead and dump this in. If you're mixing this by hand, you're going to want to just fold the eggs into the batter with a spatula. I'm going to scrape down the bowl again. I just want to get all these ingredients mixed together nicely. And there's one more thing we're going to have to put in here, and it's vanilla extract. So we're going to do just about a teaspoon. Yeah, it's looking good. Look at that, it's awesome. So the next thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the dry ingredients and I'm gonna mix those together. So I have a cup of garbanzo bean flour, chickpeas, so that's a whole bean flour, so there's no starch in there. And then I have a cup of brown rice flour, so it's whole grain brown rice flour, and I'm gonna put those two together. And then I've pre-mixed this together, but I have 2 teaspoons of xanthan gum. This is xanthan gum, it's a binder. Since gluten is sort of like the glue that holds the flour together, and we don't have that in this recipe, xanthan gum is basically that glue that holds the flour together. It gives it some rise, it gives it some fluff, and it keeps it together. If you don't use xanthan gum, what happens is your recipe gets like crumbly. So this has xanthan gum, salt, and baking soda. It's a teaspoon of baking soda. Now this is an important step, okay? You want to make sure that you mix these things together pretty well, because you want the xanthan gum to really be incorporated well into the flour. Okay, so we got that all mixed together, and the next thing we're going to do is turn the mixer back on, and we're just going to start putting this in slowly but surely. And this is great because it's starting to really thicken. And that's one thing that you're going to notice with xanthan gum is it gets your recipe so thick so fast that you might think, oh my gosh, it's not going to taste right, it's going to be dry. Don't worry about it. It's just part of what xanthan gum does when it binds your recipe together. Okay, so this is looking pretty good. I don't want to beat it too much. Again, I don't want my butter to melt too much. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to put in these. They're lovingly named Mega Chunks. Aww. They're chunks of chocolate. They're dairy, nut, and soy free. It's free enough. And they're really delicious. So when we incorporate the chocolate chips into this, we don't want to turn on the mixer for too long because we don't want to break up all your chocolate chips. So just on very low for just a little bit, enough to kind of get it mixed in there. And then we're going to take this paddle off and take this out. So look at this. It looks really good. It's kind of thick. What you can do if this is a little too thin, and for me it might be just a little too thin to go ahead and put on the cookie sheet right away, but you may want to just set it up in the freezer for a few minutes or in the refrigerator for about a half an hour. I know I don't like to wait that long when it comes to chocolate chip cookies, so we're just going to go for it and see what happens. All right. I'm going to use a melon baller to scoop out my cookies so that they're all about the same size, and I'm using them on a stoneware cookie sheet. You can get these all over the place. I happen to get this from a friend of mine who does the Pampered Chef. Fun little parties, by the way. So, and we're just going to go ahead and put those on. And I have here, I'm going to be dipping this into some water, some warm water every now and again, because it helps the dough come off of the melon baller really easily. Then we're ready to put this in the oven. Our oven has been preheating at 300 degrees, and we're going to put it in for about 15 minutes, or basically until they're done. So we're going to check them. All right. There we go. In the oven, 15 minutes. We're going to have some really good cookies. I mean, you guys are going to be really surprised, even though they sound like they have nothing in them, because they're free of like everything. You're going to be really surprised at how great these are. All right, our cookies are ready to pull on out of the oven. Oh, look, they've grown together. It's like one little happy family of cookies. Oh my God, these cookies smell incredible. Actually, we need to let them cool for a little bit, just a tiny bit. We're going to go ahead and take the cookies off of the pan here and put them on a plate. They're nice and hot. Oh, man. So there you have it. Gluten-free, dairy-free, soy-free, starch flour-free chocolate chip cookies. I think Kaylee is going to be very, very happy with this recipe. I'm going to enjoy my cookie now. Oh my God, it's so good. You really have to try this. Want to get in on this?
Can I have one?
Yeah, please. Oh, come on.
Oh, they are warm.
Oh, they are. Be careful, don't burn yourself. What do you think? What do you think? Huh?
That tastes like a chocolate chip cookie.
See what I'm saying?
It doesn't taste like it's free of anything.
This happens everywhere I go. Look. Delicious.
They're really good.
Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, and in the comments down below, just put anything that you want me to cook up on camera for you. Whatever your food has to be free of so you can eat it. And thank you so much for watching Free Food.